Welcome back to the VST channel, guys. I am bringing you some official One UI 6 Android 14 changes coming to our beloved mobile operating system. Why official? Because as you can see on the screen, it's published on the Samsung developers, right? So first thing, it's good, it's official. Second thing, don't expect too much, right? But it's really something that we know for sure is going to happen, and it's an indication of where things are going. And in the same time, guys, I'm going to show you here on the Android Authority, you can just see the major new changes coming from Google on Android 14. Why? Because you always know how it goes. Google is working on the next iteration of Android. This is then put inside some test ROMs, betas 1 to 3, previews, usually first on some Pixel phones, starting with some GSI ROMs to be also available for other devices, and then at some point all other brands like Samsung, Xiaomi, whatever, right, you name it, OnePlus, they're just taking the next iteration and they're putting things on top of this. So this video is about something that we believe is certain. Let's start. Samsung Application Management. It has 5 sections. An introduction. Samsung Application Management is a solution that helps prevent battery consumption due to unintended background operations of applications. This feature limits background activities according to the application usage patterns, such as periods of non-activity and background battery consumption, and applies either the sleeping or deep sleeping modes to data analysis based on these patterns. So that's not something new. In fact, I'm going to put this link down below. You can check how exactly this works, like sleeping application, deep sleep, and etc. and etc. So there is a whole more information available about this and what exactly One UI is doing. And there is details, purpose, details, also API information. And just below the API information, there are just this like one sentence that is official One UI 6 Android 14. Why? Because they're saying changes in One UI 6 with Android 14 to strengthen the Android platform. Our collaboration with Google has resulted in a unified policy that we expect will create a more consistent and reliable user experience for Galaxy users. Since One UI 6.0, foreground services of applications targeting Android 14 will be guaranteed to work as intended, so long as they are developed according to the Android's new foreground service API policy. If you have paid attention, you'll see that there are 3 things here. The first thing is it's specifically tailored at applications built for Android 14, right? So also it uses a new foreground services, right? Android 14, again, it comes from Google. And number 3, right, it's for sure that Samsung is implementing exactly the same or very similar to what Google is implementing. So now we need to understand what exactly is this new foreground service API policy. And I'm going to switch to the Android 14 and I'm just going to search for foreground. Google tinkers with Android inner workings. For starters, Google is tweaking 2 Android APIs. The foreground services, which is exactly what also Samsung now confirmed are changing in One UI 6 Android 14, and the job scheduler, with a view to improve efficiency for tasks like background activities and downloading large files. The user-initiated data transfer job will make managing user-initiated downloads and uploads easier, particularly when they require constraints such as downloading on Wi-Fi only. Google says of its tweaks related to the file downloads and uploads. The battery life focus doesn't end here, as Android 14 also improves the platform's internal broadcast system for better efficiency. So they're not telling us too much, right? So if your application targets Android 14, it must specify appropriate foreground service types. As in previous versions of Android, multiple types can be combined. The list shows the foreground service types to choose from. So you have camera, connected device, health, location, media playback, microphone, phone call. Imagine the possibilities, right? So people working with apps developers, right, they can target specifically Android 14 new foreground service type, and then hopefully, this will result in us getting some improvements. And according to Samsung themselves, they say that they expect that this will create a more consistent and reliable user experience for Galaxy users. Let's read it one more time. A more consistent and reliable user experience. What I have been saying in all of my videos, that the consistency is problematic with One UI, specifically with stutter animations. You do something 10 times, right? Number 8 and number 9 will stutter. So it's not so flawless. And now they're saying that they hope to get a more consistent and reliable user experience. Now, will this result into optimizations in the smoothness of UI? I don't know, right? Will this result into getting something more out of the battery? I don't really know, right? But for sure there are changes in One UI 6 that are going to be under the hood changes, but hopefully bringing some quality of life improvements. And this is now confirmed 100%. This is no lazy, this is no concept design, it is real. It's here on the Samsung developers website. If you like videos like this, guys, don't hesitate. Click on the sub button, right? Every time that you upload a new video, guys, you're gonna get it. Stay safe until we meet in one of the next videos. With that said, VST over and bye.